Welcome back to The Curious Yapper. I'm Madison, your host and favorite yapper. Full transparency, I think we're on a mental decline currently, and I'm trying to not go too low. So some of it feels a little fake and forced. Here we are. The state of the world also feels really heavy, so that doesn't help. I'm sure you've seen some terrible things, people dying that shouldn't have died, law enforcement that aren't really law enforcement. So we'll go through the last 2 weeks, but it does feel a little fake. So here goes nothing. 2 weeks ago, Tuesday, I took the day off from work. That was much needed for sure. Got to recoup from travels to Colorado, and it was a relatively relaxed day. I naturally fill it up with still productive things. That's my own battle. I'll talk about that some also. Anyways, so that was Tuesday. I read, I went shopping, did some groceries, and then I also attempted and did make one of my friend's soup recipes, but it was totally a fail. I don't know what it is with me and soup, but it's not really going well. So that was that Tuesday. Then the next day was therapy, so very needed. I was also back at work and things were all happening at the same time. And that was therapy 2 weeks ago. I got therapy this week, thank goodness, because I need it for sure. That evening though, after therapy, was my game group, and I really like that group of people. Lots of different age range, diverse that way, and different walks of life. So I really enjoyed them. And I still think it's wild that the only reason I have them in my life and that I have this game community is because I said yes to one event. So your life is one yes or one action away from real change, which is wild to me. So that was that Wednesday. Really enjoy that group of people. And there's one lady in there that I think I've shared before, but she just does it all. And when I retire and when I'm her age, I want to be her in the sense that she values community. She has different groups. She volunteers, she reads, she puzzles. And there's another lady in that group as well that I just think it's so cool that they value their community and the groups that they're in. And I think that's essential for longevity in life. And I just really enjoy them, and they're cool people. So that was that Wednesday. The next Thursday, I have no idea, it's a blur. Then that Friday was Taco Bell date night. They got some new Lux, like their value cravings meal. They had new items. So Evan and I got every single item and taste tested. And my number one, I think, is the mini taco salad. Really like that. And the potato burrito. Evan really likes the new stacker. And then he also liked the dip, the like nacho dip that has the beef and the beans and the stuff. So that was really fun. And we also watched a movie on Amazon, Deep Cover, about people that are stand-up or improv actors and actresses, and they go wild. They go deep in cover with like drug ring. Anywho's, then the next day was Saturday. I don't really remember it much. I'm sure we went on a walk and I probably slept in. The next day also probably the same. Then this past Monday, I traveled to Florida, and it takes pretty much a travel day to get there. I had a connection, but luckily my connection was on the West Coast, so it wasn't impacted by all of the weather that was in Central America. I know my colleagues and family in Texas had a lot of ice, so it was real. People lost power. So I was glad to avoid and go on the West Coast. And I flew Delta on my way to Florida, and I think Delta is superior. I love that they have the back seat or the screens in the back of the seat, and they pass out headphones and all kinds of stuff. I got to watch Amazing Race 3 episodes on my way out, and they also had Sun Chips as a snack. They had Cheez-Its as a snack or cookies. So I'm a fan of Delta for sure. Then when I landed in Florida, it was late, and I actually ran into one of my colleagues that was also visiting the office, flew on a totally different flight, different airline, but we met on the train to get to rental cars. So that was kind of fun, and we literally sit next to each other in our current office. So that was Monday. Oh, when I had my layover, I got a terrible breakfast sandwich. Just disgusting. I took a bite of it and it was still cold, and so I was like, excuse me, could you please reheat this? And he was like, yes. So he literally just warmed it up. And then when I landed, got my rental car, got some Taco Bell, and headed to my hotel. I was exhausted. I think I tried to chat with Evan, but I didn't have any real brain space. So that was Monday. It was busy. The next day I was up at 2 a.m. Pacific time, which is just wild, going to the East Coast from the West Coast time zone. Really challenging. That day for lunch, I got a delicious bagel sandwich. And then that night, I went to Texas Roadhouse for dinner. That was the first time I had ever dined by myself in a sit-down restaurant. Proved to myself I can do it, and it's okay. I didn't feel too weird about it, so that's improvement. I got my chicken critter salad with ranch, delicious, and then also had, I think I had 2 rolls. I don't know, but it was delicious. That night, when I got back to my hotel, I was trying to stay up to talk to Evan because, again, 3-hour difference, and I think I was zonking out. I don't know if we actually successfully talked that night. I was so tired. Then Wednesday last week, it was good to see people in the office because I always see them virtually. I was there to help one of my mentors and be on the ground support, and so that was really good to see and observe some dynamics and offer some feedback. Then that day I got a Cuban for lunch. The bread was delicious. I was shocked at the price because where we live, when I think about a sandwich, it'd be easy, like $15 out the door. I got a sandwich and it was only $7. I couldn't believe it. Delicious. That evening after work, I went to a park and walked for a little bit. I was trying to time meeting a colleague at Chili's for a triple dipper with the walk, so I cut it short, but that's okay. Triple dipper, we each got a triple dipper, so we got to try 6 things. I had never had the Southwestern egg roll bites. Delicious. The mozzarella everything was very salty, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised because it's Chili's, but everything was really salty. The egg roll bites were delicious. I had one of the Big Mouth burger bites. We had chicken tenders, so on and so forth. But the egg rolls were the best. Then that night, I think I got to talk to Evan decently. Next day was my last day in office. Got to have a really yummy pesto sandwich for lunch and got to meet with the team and just talk with them and, you know, interact. So that was nice. Then after work, I went to Chewy's. And when I got to Florida, I had downloaded an audiobook, which was Heather Gay's Good Time Girl. She's a housewife from Salt Lake City, Utah, and she's an ex-Mormon. I love to get a deep dive into people's lives. And so everywhere I was driving it was significant drives when I was going for my meals. It was about 30-40 minutes. Chuy's ended up being an hour with traffic. It was worth it though, because Chuy's, and also I had the audiobook to listen and entertain me, and I was laughing at that book. I really, really, really enjoyed it. I think it's because I niche really enjoy drama with housewives and then drama in the Mormonism stuff. Love, 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 love. So that was Thursday. I did chat with Evan for a little bit, and I finished that audiobook on my drive back. Had to pack and get ready for the next day. Then the next day was a much more relaxed travel home day than it was prior in June. So no fiascos here, all was well. It was a long flight. We got a little bit delayed leaving Florida, and it was we were in the air for 6 hours and 20 minutes, and we were only supposed to be in the air for 5:50. So it was almost 30 minutes more air time. And so then I also wasn't sure about my connection because I only had an hour in between my flights, but then we were kind of delayed by 20-30 minutes. And then I knew that my flight was going to board. So right when I got off the first flight, I found my gate and they were just starting to board. So it was perfect timing. The anxious girl in me though was worried about trying to find my way, because originally I was going to have to go to a different terminal. And it's just not always fun when you don't have a relaxed amount of time. So that was the travel. Then I made it back home. Evan picked me up. I was a zombie when I got in the car. I was hungry and just exhausted. And then that night I think we did Taco Bell. I don't really remember. It kind of feels like a blur and numb, honestly, which I don't love. I'm going through the motions right now and it doesn't feel good. Then Saturday I slept in. Oh yeah. I also am someone, when I get back from a trip, that I immediately throw in my laundry, get that going, unpack my bag so that it's just done and I can move on with my life. I had zero energy to do that. And so I did that on Saturday, slept in. Evan went to the store, did gas, and then I just made myself eggs instead of a whole breakfast and whatever. Eventually started the laundry on Saturday. I read some book, we walked, and then we went to get burgers for like late lunch, early dinner. Then we went to Costco to get a dessert, and I put it on our calendar after I saw someone on TikTok going through the Costco desserts, and I was like, yes. So no matter what the size was, we were gonna buy one. So we did. We got a tuxedo cake. It's delicious. I'm so surprised, but it's really good. And I think we're gonna finish the whole thing, which is fantastic. And adult free will is you can do whatever the hell you want. And if you decide on a Saturday you're gonna go get a cake and you don't even have a birthday or anything to celebrate, making it to the weekend and staying alive, that's a celebration. That's enough for me to get a cake. I might need to do cake monthly, celebrate that I made it to another month, because who else is celebrating me if not me? So again, turns out when you go to Costco, no one asks you if you have a reason to get a cake. You can just get the cake. Exercise that free will. I would. Yesterday, slept in. I felt like I was in a funk and told Evan that I hadn't been productive. And he had to verbally say to me that I'm allowed rest. I don't do well with rest. I need some level of accomplishment or productivity, and that is not rest. So that doesn't feel good. I'm not surprised, because I always did stuff growing up for attention and acknowledgement. So not surprised that I can't rest. Working on it. Luckily I have a partner that tells me that I can rest and that I should rest. So that's where we're with that. I also made some impulse purchases yesterday. That felt fun. They arrived today. And then I started spiraling about life decisions and things that I need to consider for my future. Went on a walk with Evan, got to talk through it. So that was good. And then, exciting, my friend is coming this weekend. And so it's a really, really busy time of just this week and next week with work. Having a friend here will force me in a positive way to spend time and live life. So I'm really excited to host her. And yeah, I don't have that much more, yappers. 'Tis what it is. Thanks for the yap sesh. I hope you are having a better week than me. If you're not, sorry. We can do it. Question mark. Find things that you do for you. I went on some mental health little breaks from my computer today. Doesn't feel like I solved the world's problems. I don't feel great. What can we do? Anyways, eat some good food that like supports you with energy and digestion. Go outside, move your body, and be kind to yourself. I guess I need to do that. Anyways, bye yappers.